When your margin for survival is only 60 seconds, what will you do? Each evening, the man would anxiously wait for his son's return. Even if he was only a minute late, the man would scold him harshly. Once his son arrived, they would rush inside and lock all the doors and windows, checking them repeatedly to make sure everything was secured. They would confirm over and over that every door and window was tightly closed before they could sit down to eat. But the warnings never stopped. The man would remind his son to always return home on time because once night fell, the outside world was no longer safe for humans. They had to learn to protect themselves. After dinner, they would check again to ensure the outside was safe before the father could relax enough to watch his sons play chess. Unfortunately, these peaceful moments didn't last long. The family dog started to become restless, which immediately put everyone on edge. As Thomas was about to investigate, Cade quickly rushed to brace the door, hoping to hold off whatever was outside. After a tense moment, the sounds stopped, and it seemed that whatever it was outside had given up. The family breathed a sigh of relief, but Thomas was upset with his brother for not helping. Joseph hadn't been idle, though. He'd been recording the number of times something had slammed into the door. The first time was a light tap, just a test. The second time, the force was stronger. It was trying to break in. The third time was an angry, weak slam, showing that whatever was out there had lost its strength. The next day, when Cade went to check, he found the door badly damaged. They had no choice but to gather supplies and repair it. However, to Cade's surprise, his younger son, though not working, had somehow managed to put together a car. Although his son's knowledge wasn't enough to start the car due to their life in the apocalypse, Cade simply swapped out a part, giving the car a new life. Impressed by his son's ingenuity, Cade saw Joseph as a genius and couldn't wait to take his sons out to learn how to drive. Joseph quickly picked it up, mastering how to drive in no time. So Cade sent his two sons to the beach to gather supplies while he stayed behind to fix the house. Thomas, however, was reluctant. He had somewhere else he wanted to go. So he left the car midway and told Joseph to continue gathering the supplies alone, agreeing to meet up at the intersection before dark. Not long after, Thomas arrived at a nearby farm. He was familiar with the farm owner, as he often helped out. But that wasn't why he was there. After all, he was at the age where two young people could easily bond. Before long, they were deep in conversation, and Thomas found himself completely immersed in the warmth of the moment. He stayed a little longer than he intended, and the embrace lasted for 10 seconds. By the time they parted, it was already getting dark, and Thomas had to rush off. In his hurry to meet up with Joseph, Thomas slipped and fell into a crack in the ground.